This is what we created in the last optional lectures. In case you didn't follow along these lectures, don't worry, this is just a basic website we created with HTML and CSS concepts we learned about already in this course, and this page simply consists of this single landing page. We have two navigation items up here, and we have these add to cart buttons, but at the moment these are all just dummy data, so they don't actually work. It's just for the looks here at this stage. The looks are very important though, because this module is all about responsive design. This means a design which adapts to different device sizes. Nowadays, users don't browse websites simply by using a desktop computer, for example. We have different devices available, like smartphones, tablets, laptops, desktop computers, and so on. And all these can have different sizes on their own. So you have smaller smartphones, larger smartphones, smaller tablets, bigger tablets, and so on. So lots of different possibilities here. The problem is that we as developers don't know which device our users are using to browse our website. Therefore, as developers, we have to make sure that our site looks good no matter which device the people browsing our website are using. For this, we have the concept of responsive design. And responsive design is basically all about this website content, website layout adjustment depending on the device size. Now in the DevTools, which are open right here already, we have different options to see what our website looks like on different device sizes. For this, I first want you to make sure to set the zoom level of the page to 100%. For this, please click onto the page here to the left to make sure you don't accidentally select the DevTools here. And then press the Command key on a Mac device or the Control key on a Windows device. And now with plus, you can increase the zoom level. With minus, you can decrease the zoom level. And here on the Mac, you see over here in the right part, the current zoom level that is applied. I will set this to 100%, so please make sure to do so on your computer too. This will become important later in this module when we work with different device widths. Therefore, I just want to make sure that we have the same core settings to avoid any kind of confusion later. Now, talking about responsive design, we now have a kind of default view, so to say. If you click onto this vertical line here between the DevTools and the actual website content, then you see that you have the width and the height displayed up here. You can see this, we have now a width of around about 1500 pixels and a height of 1361 pixels. And as you can see, I can play around with this width. If I increase the width here, which could be a very large screen, to more than 2000 pixels, well, you see that the readability of our page is not perfect, the font size might be too small, the images are kind of too wide, so our entire card basically is too wide, and so on. So the look is not perfect, the look doesn't really perfectly adjust to our bigger device width. And if I do it the other way around, by decreasing the device width, you see it looks okay, but now things start to look odd, especially right here. You see on top the navigation bar, well, that's definitely not a nice styling. We have the card, we have the button, which is kind of broken into, well, two different lines, and also the entire card being that high. Well, I don't think this looks good. Besides testing our device size by, well, increasing and decreasing the width here in DevTools, you can also emulate real devices in the Chrome DevTools. You can find this option right here next to the Elements ribbon, this symbol with the smartphone and the tablet. If you select this, then you have the emulated view on a real mobile device. In my case here, we have an iPhone 6, 7, 8 or Plus. If you click onto this arrow, you can select different other devices like an iPad here, for example, or you can also use an iPhone X. With this, you get even more control about the looks of our website. At the moment, I will work with the, change of the width in the DevTools though, so we can simply click onto the symbol once again to get back to this normal view. Now, as you saw, our design is not responsive at the moment. It has some default, responsive behavior, but we have to work on this design on our own to make sure it looks good on all of our devices. To implement such a responsive design though, we have to understand different concepts. One of these concepts lets us dive deeper into the concept of units once again.